Hello, it is Rabbit. This is Starcraft Broodwar, and we are doing a ladder cast for you today between a Terran player by the name of Speed and a Protoss player who is playing on a barcoded alias today. This is Stork. So we are on Polestar. This is a ladder game from late October 2025, and we are recording this today on the 9th of November. So hey, how's everybody doing? It's been pretty fun getting back into the ladder swing of things, particularly with the modern maps, today's maps, and meta hasn't changed too much in a couple of years, but it has been quite a bit of fun getting back into things. So yeah, we've got Stork versus Speed today. Stork getting quite a lot of time on Artos's channel in recent weeks, and always a good player, fun player to watch. So we'll see what we have in store today. So I mean, the new map, aside from having sort of slightly different names, the fundamentals of it seem pretty standard, especially the 4-player maps. So I am enjoying them. I think Litmus is one that I'm still trying to wrap my head around a little bit, but Polestar and Metropolis seem pretty good, and those are the main ones that are coming up. It's still early days. I think I only have 3 videos that have released since I've returned to YouTube at time of recording, so I am still waiting for a little bit of feedback to understand if people are enjoying compilation content, if people are looking for something different on the ladder, if they're happy for a mix of skills, or if they just want to be watching the top pros. And once we got a better idea of that, I think we'll keep going. I've definitely come across a few fun games recently. I just got done casting an Artos's game where he faced a very, very naughty Protoss player, and that game was pretty wild and pretty enjoyable. And that's kind of what it's all about, is just casting fun games. I'm not really too worried about who's playing. I'm just worried about, are the games fun and entertaining, because I think ultimately that is what the YouTube community is looking to see. At least I hope so. Okay, so we are doing the Zealot Harass start, which against this kind of start from the Terran, it tends to be somewhat ineffective. I think best case scenario, a Zealot is good when your Terran is trying to do a gasless Rax expand. I think when they're just doing the standard factory, you know, players of this level can just micro their Marines really well, and it doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. So let's see how we go. Let's get 2 hits on the Marine early. Could get a 3rd here. Yeah, the Marine got stuck behind the barracks. So not the best micro from my Terran, as I talked up the good micro. The CV lends a hand. That Zealot's move in a funny way, like this clunky body movement. I am for ire, rah. So he's gonna get himself a Marine kill. And like I say, I mean, that's not really worthwhile in my view. The Volt is about to pop out. Another Zealot has come here. I think this is bad. I don't think he's been seen though. No, he hasn't. That's funny. Dragoon is here just hitting the scouting SCV of our Terran. This Zealot is neatly tucked away here and he's totally hidden him. That's hilarious. So Stork has gone range. He's not expanding as of yet. I think he's about to on 29. So he really needs to get value. So the Zealot now does show himself. Hi, welcome. Gets himself a kill. Gets himself another kill. Gets himself a 3rd kill. That was actually very good. So very profitable there that he snuck that Zealot away. Would have used his Dragoon now to chase down the SCV, has expanded, and I expect the game will normalize from here. I don't think that Protoss got a massive advantage, even with killing those 3 SCVs, to be honest. Terran now, his command center is probably slightly behind the Nexus, and in this matchup, Protoss needs to have a far superior economy, particularly as the game scales. So range is about to finish. I expect to try and make up some of the economic deficit. The goons will start to hit the bunker pretty much now. Tank does come and he tries to jump on it. Needs another shot. And one more. One more. There it is. Does get the tank. Loses a goon. Loses 2 goons. And very nearly loses 3 goons. Not worth it. 1 tank for 3 goons. Not exactly good trading, especially at this stage of the game. So another goon does come in. We're doing everything off of a single gateway. That's really good. Just constantly producing off of 1 gate can be surprisingly powerful. Does sneak out an SCV, I think, just to scout what the plan of the Protoss player is. Presumably, that's what he's doing, unless he wants to do some sort of sneaky expansion. We shall see. Oh, wow. So because we lost 2 goons, we're assuming that you're not going to have that many left over. This goon is on pretty low health. Does respond pretty quick. It's trying to get pot shots and retreat. I think the micro taxing that puts on you is really hard. Moves forward, takes a pot shot. Let's get 1 marine. It's the tanks that shoot you in the face here that makes this so awkward. Is retreating. Ah, it's an offensive eBay right there. Is that blocking goons getting out? Oh, you're joking if that's true. No, he got out safely enough. I just want to try and keep an eye on this if I can. No, they seem fine. The Protoss are holding firmly on 3 gates with the observer. It's not going to have to retreat. I think he's cancelled this offensive eBay. That was pretty funny, I must say. Alright, so now the defender is now once again becoming the attacker. It would have been a very scrappy back and forth. Sends the observer just to check what's cooking. I wonder if there's a Reaver coming in behind this. I see a shuttle. I do not see a support bay till now. Okay, so that seems to be the plan. ACV is still moving around the map, scouting some things. Does have some goons here to set up a 3rd. And like I said, it's been a pretty pretty scrappy game. Stork's hit his macro quite nicely thus far, which I think has been good. Seems to be planning to take this Nexus fairly soon. There's our SCV just basically confirming the intentions to expand. Observer flies in here, sees he's only on 2 factories, making an armory, so it does seem to be a macro-esque game. eBay coming in. 1 tank is sieged up, the other one micro siege up now. In the main, in the anticipation of a potential Reaver drop, which of course we know does absolutely appear to be the plan. Spotting barracks over here for in case the drop comes in from this side, and seems to be getting a turret over here, so very much preparing and anticipating some Reaver action. This is going to be something that splits my attention, I have a feeling. Costa's nightmare. It's fun though. So Reavers are in. Maybe he's just going to try and break the natural with the Reaver. They make all the turrets and all those good things, that's fine. Yeah, just seems to be diving in here. There's only 2 tanks. If you can power down with a couple of good Scarabs, I don't know how well Terran's going to be able to hold on here. This is a lot of Protoss against 2 tanks. Oh, he's got a whole heap back here that he was in anticipation of the drop in the main. He had all of his tanks really situated there. I don't really know how to gauge how that went. Tube is... Tube. Speed is down to 60 supply versus 80. Does retreat with his goons. Definitely an action-packed game so far. Very enjoyable. Retreats with a couple of goons. Has a few zealots on the way as well. We're getting speed for our shuttles. We're getting another Reaver. Making some more gateways. Getting a citadel. So progressing with our build. We only got the 1 entrance now. This has kind of been walled off, which is good. Observer still watching happily. what is now a 5 back on 2 bases. So you would expect Terran to be able to power up on this pretty well. So Speed getting some confidence with the number of tanks he has. Create a pretty big tank line. This observer is going to be in trouble quickly. This turret comes up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's moving pretty swiftly, I must say, that was good. I think this is trying to create some room. Oh, here we go. It's trying to poke in here with the speed shuttle, but it is fairly well protected against, I must admit. Taking a 4th behind this is our Stork. I wonder if Terran senses a timing here. Yeah, he does. Just with taking a 4th base, only on Reaver Tech, doesn't even have speed zealots at 12 minutes. I think. Oh, hello. Don't lose your Reavers! Oh my god, this is such fine margins. We got both Reavers unhit. That is insane. How does that happen? Oh, that was so crazy. Oh, what a mine. Lots of zealots here. I presume they have speed because the Temple Archives is coming in. Kills the observer. Reba. So this is gearing up for one big fight here. I think if Terran isn't able to break Protoss is in a very strong position. Although he hasn't actually taken the space. He's kind of faked it, which is perhaps triggered this move out, and he's powering up on 10 gateways. Does do a couple of zealot drops. His micro with his Reavers has been pretty good, although it does lose one there and does lose the second one there. I think that's really big. I think if Terran's going to find the confidence to go, it would be now. So Stork's plan is to actually run away? Really? Even with Terran on your front door, you want to run away? That's scary. ETs are on the way, but with mines, I don't really know how useful. Oh my god! What a fight! Oh, that is hilarious. He seems to want to move in from the top. I don't know how that's any better or worse, or the same. But his main army is kind of just not clearing mines, but he's got a few tanks in position here. The reinforcing units are being taken down. It's a bit of a conga line. Where is Stork going? Is he wanting to just run by and counter? I think Speed's responding really well to this, and he's splitting his units off here. This is terrible from Stork. He is absolutely all over the show. I think Speed is going to be able to hold on here, although a couple of decent drops in between here. And perhaps Terran is spread a bit thin, but he's got so many mines. No, I stand by my first comment. That was absolutely terrible from Stork. I just see this guy play some games and I'm like, bro, how are you one of the best Protosses of all time? Sometimes you can play and be made to look so incredibly ordinary. And this is one of those times. This is going to be an absolute hammering from Speed. Stork GG's. He played against Speed on the same day again, so stick with me. I will bring you a rematch shortly. Okay, so we're on Polestar again. Same two players, different spawning positions. So this time Speed has spawned in the top right and Stork has spawned in the top left. I just don't think that this shuttle based style of play suit Stork. I don't think he has the APM. I don't think he has the macro. I don't think he has the Reaver micro. There's just so many components from a Terran point of view, sorry, from a Protoss point of view that you need to be good at. And Terrans are just getting so good at understanding the flowcharts around what Protoss can do based on their starts and everything else. And yeah, I think he's just kind of been one of those players that's been left behind by the shifting in the meta. So the last ASL where I watched Stork, he just it almost became a meme because he pretty much played carriers exclusively. Probably embracing the fact that this new style of play really isn't suiting him. And there's just been so many times where his army control and his decision making around attacking into the Terran has been appalling. So I think my very first game back, I cast a game of Storks that was called Stork just keeps sending his units into the meat grinder. Admittedly, that game was played 2 years ago, but I mean, if I compare that to today, it's still some of his unit control and decision making around attacks has been questionable. He definitely overcommitted himself in that game. A lot of, trading goons for, 3 goons for basically 1 tank. So anyway, not going to have a pot shot at old Stork. He's decided to show no fear and go Nexus first. The Protoss game that I did today was the Nexus first game, and it did make for very, very entertaining viewing. So let's see if we get something similar today. Okay, so everything seems normal thus far. I just want to do a comparison. I was watching something in the Protoss replay where he was trying to get a factory timing sort of close to the pros. Oh my gosh, this 227, 3 seconds faster. That is insanely quick. Okay, so I think that was the optimization that Protoss has been after, trying to get a quicker factory. But these pros are just, yeah, they're unreal. They're really unreal with the way they optimize their mining and do all these little things so incredibly well. Okay, so he did the straight scout, and he's going to scout in, which means he will find the Nexus first, second, will speed. And is Stork doing the safe version of the build? He's going 2 gates core, no forge, so it is not the safe version. There's no zealot yet either, I don't think. Nope. So he's doing the risky version. 2 zealots now are on the way as the Terran comes in and sees, okay, so it was definitely a Nexus first. Here comes our Marine going, well, if you do Nexus first and you're in close position, I am certainly going to give you some grief. I'm pretty sure a bunker is going to pop up soon. The micro here, look how quickly speed plays, bro. 450 APM. A decent probe micro from Stork. Let's break away. All the boys are on the way, by the way. Couple of zealots. So he brought 5. So he's got 6 SCVs in total. Does kill one of the Marines. And if he's not careful, he's going to lose another Marine here. Oh, he does get it. Even though the Marines did a pretty good job in surrounding. But suddenly the Vulture is the absolute equalizer. These probes are desperately trying to halt the construction of this bunker. The Zealot ran away. I think he needs to come home and help his brethren. Does get safely into the bunker. But now Dragoons against Vultures, that's a totally different match. And some decent micro here would definitely help. So he's got a single Marine shooting this. He's got 1 SCV chasing back here. The Vulture did get into the main as well, and he has himself 3 kills so far, so picking off a decent number of probes. And these goons have been surrounded by SCVs. The SCVs are doing an incredible job against this goon, but I think Stork's multitasking again, failing him, not managing to micro this and deal with this situation where he lost himself a whole shit ton of probes. So that was Shenanigans Central. What absolute pandemonium. So I think with range, this bunker is not going to kill this Nexus anywhere near in time, especially with him sending this goon back. You can see that Stork is miles behind here. Let's see if he can play himself back into this game and create some sort of competition. So it does dive on the bunker, figures it's one Marine. Bye-bye, Marine. And so he does have his Nexus. He's got two Nexi, I think is what we do when we pluralize the Nexus. He's got range that's already finished. So if he pumps probes, he can catch up, because the cost for Terran to do this is, yes, he's got an 8-worker lead, but his command center is still miles away, and he's got to get caught up in his build, get his research done, etc, etc. Potentially some options for Stork to put some pressure. If he drags this mine towards, doesn't drag his mine towards though, and does how just confirm? Oof. Didn't have any damage. That was insane. Another skirmish here. You can see how quickly he's catching up on workers and supply. So as I've said, while he's running does go for a robo and get 2 probes up and running. So I think Stork could play this one back from behind and we could move into a decent game. This is 5 ranged goons against a tank and 3 mines. This is just... Surely he has to keep pressuring here. Surely. Although without observers, one bad trade and it becomes a big problem. So fair enough, maybe he was made a little gun shy by how poorly the previous game went when you try to pick off some tanks. We shall see. I think what he's been triggered to do though, considering the lack of Protoss units and the fact that Protoss isn't really able to attack him, and he's chased away that vulture, is take a third. I think this is a really good choice, because in terms of economic parity, he's going to get this quite quickly. However, Speed has done a double expand behind this, which I think is a remarkably good choice. However, he's got very little. As soon as Protoss gets an observer out, he's going to have very little by way of defense. But I don't think that he's going to get scouted here. I think he's going to get away with this. We'll have to track the flight path of the first observer. I think that's going to be huge. He went robo support bay before observer, and I think that's going to be potentially an issue. However, if his Reaver's in the game, he could certainly do some damage to that third base. So I think this is shaping up to be a very interesting game, and the when Protoss discovers this third base is going to dictate the result, in my opinion. No, Macro Goon, please. Don't, he's on AI mode. Is he? No, he's not on AI mode anymore. Maybe he is. That stops him. Transfer some workers. 50 SCVs for Terran. He's just hitting his macro here beautifully. Really, really good. Only 2 gateways. Shuttle is around. Does have 2 zealots and a reaver. This is going to be an important part of this game, for sure. He's also getting shuttle suit behind this. There's nothing here to defend this. Woof! Oh my god, that was good. Another one. Woof! Won't get the kill counts because of the damn scarab construction. Oh, definitely equal out the work count here. Might try and get another scarab off. Yeah, he definitely got some good value for that Reaver there. Oh, he's got a lot of tanks chasing him though, and some turrets. I think this is it. Come fly over here! Fly over here! Fly over here! Huge moment in this game. Discovers the space. Might just drop the Reaver right here because there's nothing protecting this. Oh, it does kill that and that only, which is a little bit unfortunate, but also is going to interrupt some mining here. Nice drop on that Zealot. Does actually get a tank for his trouble. Drops out the Reaver. We still can't get a kill count on him. Oh! Scarab duds. Both these depots are on critical health, but I think he'll repair them in time. So the gig is up. He discovers the third base, and I think figures, well, surely I have to pressure. It's going to send some observers now. I think that's a good idea, just to increase his vision on the map. Had one Reaver, and got some really good value from that. That was awesome. So he's got the spotter here in response. And it's going to send his goons out to try and pressure. It's going to be hard for Speed to defend both locations. So can our Protoss get some decent micro and a few good trades? Seems to be posturing for the time being. This has been walled in beautifully, so I really like this for Speed. I think he's done this really well. Here comes the Speed shuttle. Uh-oh. Drops 2 Reavers out. We'll try and get some depots for this. I think two more scarabs and it'll do the job. Oh, nice. Supply blocks our Terran, and should get one more depot if he target fires. Decides to do a tank. Yeah, it dodges that scarab, so I don't know. Questionable trade. I just say every time, I'm just not convinced that this Reaver style is for Stork. Is it maybe that he feels like obliged to play this way because it's just become so popular? Who knows? Okay, so we have some more shuttley stuff. This time it's just 4 zealots in the shuttle. And we've got some Storm as well in the game, so we're going to mix in some Storm. Storm is being researched now, so some Storm and some zealot drops. Definitely not looking like it's going to be a long game, although has expanded down here, so taken a 4th base in the second main of the map. Necessary, I think, to try and keep parity with our Terran. But I feel like Stork either has to expand everywhere or hit some kind of timing. I'm not sure that a middle ground between those two is going to be viable. It's a 5th base he's taken over here. So plenty of economy. But at what point does failed storm drop there? Got good visibility with these observers. Sending some bolts. It's probably just to confirm that the space has been taken. Got plenty of bases, does Stork. So perhaps Terran senses the timing. Let's see. He has expanded quite aggressively considering a pretty bad start, and Terran's actually ahead in terms of units here. Yeah, let's get one storm off, but this has just gotten horrendously for Protoss. Oh, decent storms there at least. But Terran supply is just not coming down. Totally whiffs here. And now, oh, he's just gonna power down those 2 Templars. That's really good micro from speed. Oh, crashing, bro. That's 1 storm off there. Supplies are equal, so at least it's a trade out as opposed to just an absolute massacre. There's another base behind this. Uh-oh. Into that. It's a decent storm. Oh, lots of railing high Templars and no value at all. I think he might have just picked 1 or 2 up there in the shuttle. Yeah, he just saved 2 of them. But this is just too much Terran. Once again, doing no damage with his Reaver drop. Just suffered too much damage in the thwarting of the Nexus first. I think Terran really did a very good job in slowing that down without falling too far behind. In fact, got himself a very good lead, especially with some worker harassment with his vultures. Vultures have got into the main here again. Lots and lots of juicy probes to be had. This base has been knocked down in the interim. With this massive Terran army, that base is going to get knocked down as well. Mines are absolutely juicing these goons before they even get downstairs, bro. Oh man. Wrecked. Got some probes moving in here against a single zealot. The only place that he's being not harassed is down in the bottom left, but I'm sure that's next because it's just heaps and heaps more Terran to come. Okay, so we're going to try and drop some shuttles on here. Storm. Another storm. Clears away the tanks. Now should be able to clear away these remaining vultures, so the reinforcements have arrived. That's just way too many units. 3 dragoons do not stand much chance at all, even though they've been walled out. The commanders basically said, thank you for all you've done for Ire. Goodbye. And that's the end of that nexus. Vulture comes in here to confirm that that'll be the next target. So Protoss does see that this base has been established and denies its completion for the time being. I think he can probably cancel and rebuild. That's a pretty good storm. This Vulture is going nuts actually. Yeah, he got a decent number of tanks there, which was good. But this Nexus is over. Bye bye. I don't think that Archon got a single shot off. He just walked. Got shot in the face 4 times and died. Bleak. That's very good work. Speed shuttle drop time. It's just basically goons and zealots. Mostly mopped up by mines. The command center is going to die. I don't think it's going to matter much. Probably going to use tanks just to break that cannon line. I think he's gonna... This isn't going to survive, is it? 66, it might. It does repair it. Well done. It's action everywhere here. So there's zealots coming here and decent mine drags. There's long-range mining for these probes, which does not look like a good occupation. There's suicide bombing in some zealots and high templars to try and clear these tanks, of which there remains a very deep line. These probes are literally just going suiciding to their deaths. And Stork once again gets the hiding from Speed. Now Speed is a more than solid Terran player, and make no mistake. But yeah, I think this is, of all the matchups that Stork has just sort of lost the most ground in, I think PVT is certainly the one. Hey, GG's out, and that's the end of our sneaky twofer, as we showcase a little bit of Stork versus Speed on the ladder. Some fun games, dictated largely by what happened in the start, but a very entertaining series, lots of action between the two players. But yeah, Stork definitely got some things to think about if he wants to play this modern style successfully. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you stuck in this far, I really appreciate it. I'll see you again soon.